Good evening and welcome back to Hux Media. The national broadcaster, a term used among television and people interested in television. To many of the people watching this, the thought of the phrase will make you think of the BBC, our national broadcaster here in Britain, and probably the most famous on the globe. But you have to remember that each country has a national broadcaster of their own, with their own TV channels and radio stations. However, today we're not going to move that far as we focus on Ireland's national broadcaster. This is the history of RTA. After the British picked up radio in 1922, the Irish soon caught on. It took a few years for the very first and initially very niche radio station, 2RN, to launch, on the 1st of January 1926. Originally funded with the help of the Irish state, it was very much a state service, and it ran until 1933 when it was replaced by Radio Éireann, now RTA Radio. When it comes to television, it took Ireland a lot longer to adopt the new medium. The first instance of TV in Ireland was in the early 60s. In fact, RTA was founded in 1960, a replacement of the name that previously only included radio, with the T newly inserted into the acronym, standing for television. Now, the broadcasting corporation we know today was set up, but wouldn't start broadcasting on TV until the 31st of December 1961. Of course, this first channel would go on to be called RTA1, as the launch of a second channel was approved by the Irish government in 1978. It's mad to think that the Republic of Ireland only had one TV channel until the late 70s, even though BBC Northern Ireland existed, and it was discussed to transmit programmes from the BBC to Ireland instead of creating the second channel, although they decided against this, and RTA2 was launched. On its first few days of broadcasting in June 1978, it mostly aired fiction series, including crime dramas and occasionally films. Just 1 year later, in 1979, a second radio station was made, simply named 2FM. If you're familiar with this channel, you'll know that the late 90s and early 2000s saw the rise of digital television, a new way for broadcasting corporations to transmit and create hundreds of new channels to air. It was an era of great competition between these companies, as the field of digital TV was a great money-making opportunity for rivalries between them to take place. Of course, for RTA, being the most popular Irish broadcaster, meant that this wasn't much of a problem, and the year 2002 saw RTA channels become available on satellite, and since then new digital exclusive channels have appeared, such as RTA Junior, RTA 1+1 and RTA 2+1. And, of course, RTA would create its own on-demand streaming service called RTA Player, being launched on the 21st of April 2009, which now provides for international audiences. It features exclusive channels such as RTA Food and RTA Archive. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this retrospective on Ireland's national broadcaster, and please, if you do enjoy this type of programming, we have plenty more coming weekly. As always, I've been Hux Media, wishing you all, wherever you are, a very good night. Good night.